All right, so we're continuing the strange saga of Bilam and how he was hired to curse the Jews and how it ended up being the best thing of all. The biggest blessings came from Bilam. But first of all, let's understand what's going on here. Bilam didn't know anything about helping people or anything. He only knew about helping himself and destroying other people. That's what he knew about. He was how do you say, a hired destroyer, not just a killer. He was a mass destroyer. That was his thing. And he was great at cursing. He was a fantastic curser. Curses, and here we have all sorts of different languages of cursing. It's kovali and orally, all these words of cursing. Kalal. So the big emissaries come from Midian, and they want to him to come with, and they say, we'll give you all sorts of money. And he says, God appears to him and says, don't go. You're not gonna curse. So they come and they say, we'll give you more money. No, not gonna go. So they go back home. They come back and they say, listen, we're going to give you more money, anything. So God says to Bilam, don't go with him. Lo ta'aras am, don't try to curse the Jews, because because they are blessed. Because the Jewish people are blessed. See, we have Rashi, don't go with him. Omerlo said, God said to Bilam, don't go with these emissaries to their country to curse the Jews, because the Jews were there visible. So he said, okay, I won't go with them, but I'll curse them from here. I'll take a little bit less instead of making, a house visit. So I'll do it from the office. I'll curse them from here. God said, I'll curse Omer lo ta'oras am. Don't curse them at all. Omer said, if so, I'll bless them. I'll give them a blessing. And I'll be on your side, God. God said, lo, they don't need your blessing, because they're already blessed. It's like they say to a bee or whatever. Some people say, here it says a tzara is like a hornet. In other words, God is saying, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want your honey, and I don't want your sting. Of course, the sting he certainly doesn't want, but maybe he wants the blessing, huh? He says, I don't want you around me. Don't deal with me. Get away. Don't. Here's the Sforno. Sforno says like this. There's a lot of very wonderful explanations over here, but don't go with them. So he said, okay, I won't go with them. I won't curse them. I'll just go with them. So God says, don't even go with them. This is the Sforno says Rebbe Avadia from Sforno. Says, don't even go. Why can't he go with him? Let him just go. He said, I'll go. I'll keep quiet. Because maybe you'll look at the Jews, you'll be jealous, you'll put a bad eye on them, like it says in Sanhedrin, the Gemara Sanhedrin, sometimes a person that has an evil eye, he can damage, right? Jealousy. Jealousy can really damage. So he says, don't. Okay, here's Balaturim. Or don't curse the people. Bilam said, come. He said, maybe I can just, I'll curse them, give them a curse. God said, don't ta'or, even a little bit. Ta'or, according to what the Balaturim says, that ta'or means less, is a smaller curse than kava. Okay, in any case, God is saying to him, just leave the Jews alone, stay home, right? Take care of yourself, sit at home and, curse trees or squirrels or something, but don't curse the Jews because it's not going to work. And anyway, just leave them alone totally. Well, what happens? Bilam says, Vayakam Bilam said to the Saribach, go to your land because God is not allowing me to go with you. God is not allowing me to go. He says, I can't go with you But God said, I can understand from God's words that it's not that he didn't want me to go at all. He didn't want to go to, that I should go with you because you're not important enough. You have to send more important people. This comes to teach a Sherucho Gavoa that he was a very big egotist, galot, and he didn't want to tell them that really God was controlling him. Ella Bal Gasut, but Ella Bli Gasut. Yosef Od Balak. He said he didn't want to let them know that God was the boss. He had to throw in his own selfishness and his own egotism into the whole thing. The fact of the matter is, you had what to be egotistical about because he was a very talented person. He had a tremendous talent. I mean, if he could, win one of these talent contests. Go into what is it, talent contest? That in the stage and curse everybody. Everybody dies. That would be a pretty, might win. Who knows? Nowadays, any sort of talent that a person has. But he was really talented. As far as cursing goes, he was number one. Right? If there's the Hall of Fame of cursers, as he's certainly would be there, no doubt about it. Yeah. So that's what he said. Okay. He said, God is not allowing me. He said, God is not allowing me to even go with you. Therefore, he's refraining from me to receive any reward from you. That's what it means. They said, we'll give you a lot of money. He says, no, God, he's jealous of me. He doesn't want me to get all this money. Okay, so what happens now? The ministers of Moab, and they went back to Balak. The people of Moab, the emissaries, they went back to their king, right, to Melech Moab, to Balak, and they say, Bilam's not going to go, doesn't want to come with us. He's refusing to go with us. What are we going to do? So they said, Balak said, I get it. I'll send more important people. Shalach Sarim Rabim, I'll send the vice president. Who knows what he's going to send? He'll send people that are more important than these, were more important than the first ones. Here, Ohr HaChaim says he sent the first ones again, and he added others with them. That's what it says also in the Maimer Me'elo. Okay, so he sent in other words, a bigger contingent. Now, see, paradoxically, God was telling him not to go, and he didn't listen to God. But what's the paradox? The paradox is that really he was going to bless the Jews. So God didn't want him to go. If he would have listened to God and not gone, then he wouldn't have given them these big blessings. So it ended up that it was from his own power of defiance that he ended up blessing the Jews. That's a paradox. Certainly it is. Okay. So all these ministers, they went to Bilam and they said, this is what Balak said, please don't refuse to come with us, because I'll give you a lot of money, I'll give you great honor and great money. Anything that you say, I'll do. Please come and curse for me this people. Please. I was talking so nice. Rashi says, that which anything, a bigger price than you ever received in your life, I will give to you. So he says, here's the Malbim, by the way. Malbim is very interesting, but I think we'll do the Malbim, some of the other explanations here. Okay, so it seems to me that there's a difference between this idea of kava is one word for cursing, in other words, aura is another one. In other words, he wants the big curse. That's what he wants to give him, the big curse, which seems to be the word aura indicates a bigger curse. So Bilam said to the servants of Balak, listen, if you give me all of his whole house, there's the whole palace filled with silver and gold, I can't transgress what God says. My God, he says, my God, to do the smallest or the biggest thing. I can't go against God. Malay Beso, what does it mean? What is he saying? This teaches you that Bilam really did have his eyes on a lot of money. He really wanted the money of other people. So therefore he said, give me all of his money. I want all of your money. He didn't say, give me all the money in the world. If you give me all of your money, and that was this show, he really wanted all the money that was in the possession of Balak. Because why? He said, listen, if you took all the money you had, you'd have to rent out a whole army, right? A whole army. How much did they pay for an army? I don't know how they used to do back there, but there used to be mercenary soldiers that they used to make a lot of money. So if you would get mercenaries to do it, it's a doubt if they would win or a doubt if they wouldn't. And I'm surefire. I never have lost a match. I always, whoever I curse comes out cursing. But what can I do here? Nevertheless, he said he would like to, he tried to keep it quiet, but he couldn't. He said, first of all, he said, listen, you're not giving me enough money, you're not giving me enough honor, so I can't do it. And finally, he was forced to admit that really I am under the control of God. And he made a prophecy over here that he's not able to negate the blessings that the forefathers received. So he said, okay, go. So what does it do? And now, you know what, says Bilam, but I'll tell you what, I can't go with you. God said I can't, but I'll tell you what, listen, maybe God is going to change his mind. Stay here for tonight, and I'll let you know what God has to say to me. Maybe we'll see, maybe something new is going to. So God came to Bilam in the nighttime and he said, listen, if these people came to you, so go with them. But whatever I tell you, you'll have to do. Oh, so that's okay, right? Now he's got permission to go. Rashi says, if they call you and you think that you can get a reward for it just by going with them, okay, so go with them. But I want to let you know something. You can promise them whatever you want to, but you're not going to be able to do anything except for what I tell you. He says, Al you're going to have to curse them, which is not what he wanted to. And nevertheless, Bilam went. He said, listen, maybe I can somehow or other, I'll convince God. I'll get God to change his mind in the way. If I say now, no, I'm not going to go with him now, so I just close the door. I'll go with them. And maybe on the way, God, I can make God remember the time when the Jews rebelled against you in the desert. Remember this time when the golden calf. What do you say? A little curse, huh? They'll throw him a little tiny bad eye or something like that. What do you say, God? So he thought maybe he would be able to convince God to change his mind and agree to his curse. Of course, you're not going to curse. They have beautiful explanations from the Kli Ykar. He said, maybe, you know what I'll do? Say that he thought, this is what the Baal HaTurim says, I won't curse the Jews alone, I'll curse the Jews with other nations. Oh, Im Yirtzeh Leburecha, he wants to bless, so then I'll bless the other nations. So in other words, we'll say, you know what, I'm cursing the Iranians and that whole area. Huh? Or maybe he'll say, you know what, so I'll give a curse to the Jews and a blessing to the Jews and that whole area. So he can somehow or other sneak in a blessing to the enemies of the Jews. That's what he really wanted to do. I can't blame poor Bilam. That's all he knew how to do. That's all he was good at it. And that was his thing. So, what do you want for the poor Bilam? Let's have a little bit of compassion for this pure anti-Semite, a little compassion for Hitler. No, wasn't it? From here, so it says what happens? Bilam woke up in the morning and he saddled his own donkey and he went with the ministers of Moab. Now, just a couple of sentences ago, he was saying, oh, you sent me, ministers that aren't honorable enough. I want a bigger group of ministers and they have to be more honorable. You don't know who I am. I mean, I'm an important person, says Bilam. So they say, okay, so they sent the bigger people and they said, we'll give you more money. We were right. We underestimated you and we're sorry with this. And now, as soon as he hears that God says, okay, if you want to go, you can go, but you better not say anything that I don't want, he saddles up his own donkey. He could have told them to saddle up a donkey. He has to saddle up his own. Okay, we're going to find out this donkey is not so, modest. I mean, if there's children listening, so I won't tell you, but we're going to find out. He used to have, he had this very sort of illicit relationship with this donkey that he had. It was an atone, so it was a female donkey. Okay. Anyway, so he said he saddled up his own donkey. For here we see that hatred, he hated the Jews so much that it made him crazy. He saddled up his own donkey. God said, Russia, you evil person, you are saddling up your donkey because you're so inspired to do something bad. Well, there was somebody before you that also saddled up his donkey, Abraham. Like it says, that Abraham saddled up his donkey in order to do what God did want, to take his son to sacrifice him. Of course, in the end, Abraham didn't sacrifice him. And in the end, also, Bilam is not going to curse the Jews. He said he went with the ministers of Moab. What did it have to say? That he went with them? No, he said he went with them to let you know, says this, Rashi, libo kalibam, he went with them with the same heart. In other words, he really wanted to curse the Jews also. And he thought maybe somehow or other, God is going to change his mind. Let's see if we can get to the good part. We're going to get to the donkey part. That's the good. Kli Ykar, God got mad at Bilam because he went. And God put a big angel, to, how do you say, to delay him, to confuse him. And he was driving on his donkey with two boys that were with him. Okay, now we're going to have this thing where the donkey is the only one who sees. The donkey is the only one who sees this angel until very in the end. And the question is going to be, why only the donkey saw? Why didn't he see? So we're going to discuss that a little bit. But first of all, let's go over here. Rashi. God got mad at Bilam for going. Why did he get mad? He told him, you can go. He said, no, God saw, he saw, Bilam saw, I mean, the only reason to go with these people was to curse the Jews. That's the only reason he wanted. And so Bilam said, okay, God, I'll go and I'll do whatever you say. So you say, so what do you mean you do whatever you say? God already said, don't go. That's what he said. And he said he wanted to go so much. So, right, why you want to go with them? Because so he knew that he really wanted to curse the Jews. That's what he wanted. So he sent an angel, a malach, it was an angel of mercy. And he wanted to prevent him from doing a sin so that he shouldn't do a sin and become destroyed, which in the end he did get destroyed, but that's going to be a while. From here, it says Bilam took two boys with him. From here, we see that an important person that goes traveling, he has to always have two people to serve him. And also then they help one another. He says, why does God get mad? Says the Rashbam, because he saw that really Bilam really wanted to curse the Jews, even though he knew that God did not want him. And here he says an interesting thing. Where is this? It says he brings down from a Gemara that it says that if there's three people, that angels of destruction don't appear to them. Here it is. Here it is. Who rocheb al asan v'shnei ravito. This is who the Malbim. So two boys with him. Why? This is the reason why he didn't see the angel, because it says that if a person goes with three people on the road, then any demons or whatever there are on the road, they won't hurt him. A person should never travel alone, it says, on the road, because there could be these powers of whatever is demons or whatever, some things, spirits, and they could hurt a person. They could hurt a person. But if a person goes with three, then they won't appear and they won't hurt them. Okay. We have to understand the Malbim was a very great man, but its first class is not really so understandable, because this angel was there. Anyway, that's why he didn't appear. That's what he wants to say. That's what he wants to say. Usually you go three people, it means that they don't even appear. They don't even. Here the angel had its effect. So he says, this donkey, this female donkey, saw the angel. He saw that there was an angel. One second. I wanted to go back here. Just a little bit back. Here, listen to this here. Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh. Ohr HaChaim, here it is. The two boys were with him. We have to understand, why does the Torah tell us the two boys were with him? What do we care? The rabbis say, like Rashi says, it tells you that that's derech eretz, an important person should always have two people with you. Okay, good. But says the Ohr HaChaim, good, it does tell you that, but why does it have to tell you that here? What do we? This is somehow or other important to the story that Bilam had two boys with him. It's telling what important people should take two boys. Adayan Kasha, it's still hard. Why did it let us know this? Ella Achashis Kir Charon Apo, because God got mad and there were two boys with him. Yotze Malach Satano. And then all of a sudden the angel came. So how does it go? Bilam said, okay, I'll go. God got mad, and Bilam went with the two boys that were with him. And then there came this angel to stop. What's the thing? Two boys, how did they stick that thing in them? It says like this, what the rabbis say, it says to three people, a destroying angel will not appear to them. It won't appear and it won't harm them. So that's why he took these boys with him. So Bilam sort of worried about this, so that's why he took the two boys with him. But what's it got to do with it over here? That's why Bilam didn't see. Not only that the angel came to do damage to Bilam, but because he had two boys with him, then it didn't have any effect. The angel couldn't have any effect on it, a negative effect. We'll see that it did affect the donkey, but all right, here we have that. Let's see, I hope we'll get to it. Says that the mouth of the donkey of Bilam, that Bilam had a donkey that could speak, that was one of the things that was created right before Shabbos came in, after man was created. Bein HaShemashos, right? Man was created and sort of like the beginning of the sixth day, and it says that the demons and that the opening of the pit that swallowed up Korach, and also the mouth of this donkey, they were created right before Shabbos came in. So these things were created before Shabbos came in. So here, this is a big miracle. It's gonna be a lot of talking about this. What was this thing of the mouth of the? So there's one opinion that says that the mouth of the, I hope we'll get to it, the mouth of the donkey was something like the mouth of the serpent that spoke to Chava, spoke to Eve. Something on the same way, but it's sort of like the opposite. The serpent that spoke to Eve, that was to do bad. And here the serpent, right, is speaking to, the donkey is speaking to the, says Rashi, the donkey saw that there was this big angel there, but Bilam didn't see it. But Bilam did not see that that the donkey did see something more than the man. He thought that the donkey was just being stubborn. Because a person who has more awareness that a donkey does, if he would see an angel, he would go crazy. There was an angel standing there, and the sword was drawn out in his hand. He said, Russia said, God said, this evil person, he left the normal weapons of the Gentiles. Usually they fight with swords and all sorts of metal instruments. And he went upon the Jews with his mouth. Right? He's going to curse the Jews. That's what Bilam was supposed to do. So if so, I'm going to take his weapon, and that's what it says. He left the sword. Bilam wants to destroy the Jews with the weapon of the Jews, namely their prayers and their speaking. So first of all, I'm going to give the power of speech to the donkey. We're going to see in a moment. And not only that, I'm going to take the weapons that he usually uses, namely a sword, and I'm going to kill him with it. That's we're going to see later on. It says Bilam ben Ohr HaChaim. It says that Bilam was killed by the sword. Let's do the Ramban over here. Let's see. Oh, it's a little bit big, huh? Can we do it? And the Malbim. He's going to talk about why it was 3 times. Let's try it. Vatera asoned Malach Hashem. He saw the angel of God. Now, what is this angel of God? He says the angels of God are units of godly, when you call it intellect, some emotions. It's not that the donkey really saw it with his eyes. And good, because an angel doesn't have like a physical body that you could see it. Something like when the prophets saw things, or people that have Ruach HaKodesh like Daniel, they understood the visions of their mind, that their mind's eye could see things. And when a person reaches to this high level of prophecy, but an animal, how can an animal couldn't really get a true vision of anything. So that's what it means, that this donkey just felt, and it scared him. This is the angel that came to delay Bilam. Like it says, okay, that's what the Ramban says. Let's look at the Malbim. Malbim says, why was it exactly that he did it 3 times? We're going to see that the donkey he does 3 things against Bilam. There's 3 stages in this journey that he stops and he presses his foot against the wall, and then he lays down. Why did he do this? Why these 3 things? Says the nature of this donkey was that there's a rider on it, right? And the driver, usually tells the donkey what to do. And all of a sudden, this nature that a donkey follows its leader, the donkey changed this 3 times on 3 different levels. The same way that Bilam also rebelled against God. Bilam should have listened to what God said, just like the donkey should have listened to what Bilam said, but he didn't. So it was sort of like measure for measure. The first time, all right, so listen, he explains what it is, and we don't have really time to do the whole entire thing. We'll see the 3 times, and then we'll try to explain as we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, number 1, the angel stood there, b'mishol karamim. He saw that they were going through a path of, in the vineyard, there was a wall over here and a walls on both sides. And the donkey saw the angel, and he pushed against one of the walls. He pushed the foot of Bilam against the wall, and Bilam started to beat the donkey. He beat the donkey. So let's see. Let's go back again. Okay, first of all, going backwards. Here it is. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Here we go. So first of all, we skipped one. The angel appears in front of the donkey, and the donkey sees the angel, and it's standing in the road, and he had a big sword, and the donkey went off the road into a field. And Bilam started to beat the donkey to get it back on the road. But what are you doing in the field? That was number one. Number two, the donkey kept straying, and it went into a vineyard, this is sort of a narrow path in this vineyard that there's a wall on both sides, and the donkey pressed Bilam's foot against the wall. That's step number two. First he went into the field, and now he pressed his foot into the wall, and Bilam is beating the donkey, increases beating the donkey. Step number three, the angel was still standing, and he went to a very narrow place that you couldn't go to the right or to the left. You couldn't press anything over there. And the angel saw this, the donkey saw the angel, and he just laid down under Bilam. And Bilam really got mad, and he started beating this donkey with his stick. So here's 3 times. The Ohr HaChaim has a beautiful explanation on it also. He wants to, the Ohr HaChaim says the reason he did it was to embarrass Bilam 3 different levels of embarrassment. 3 different levels of embarrassment to show that he really didn't have any control over the donkey, and exactly the opposite, that the donkey had control over him. Okay, let's go. Okay, finally, this is the one I want to get to. All of a sudden, God opened up the mouth of the donkey. And the donkey said to Bilam, what did I do to you that you're beating me these 3 times? Huh? What am I doing to you? Says, Remez, that you're beating me these 3 times. Says, you want to uproot the Jewish people. Shlosh regalim. He says, what do you do? 3 regal means times, but also regal also means like a special time. So he says, you are trying, where are you going, Bilam? You're trying to uproot a nation that celebrates 3 holidays. It says another reason for the 3 times is because of the 3 fathers, the merit of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Here it says, Rabbeinu Bchayi. It says, God opened up the mouth of the donkey. It says, according to the simple meaning, this was a big miracle. It was totally outside of nature. And the whole thing was for the glory of the Jewish people. Because God, He fli lasot v'ratza l'shanot seder bereshis. God all of a sudden changed the whole order of creation when an animal spoke. Lomar, to say, shafilu behema, even animals will recognize she'en ashlichus hazer roi lasos. Now this is also a little bit of a vision of the future to come, when it says that everything in the world will recognize the oneness of God. Even the stones, it says, will cry. It's like a person that speaks to the mountains that should cover over him, or the hills that they should follow what he says. It goes out to say that if the mountains do what God wants and the animals do, for sure human beings, shumaskil, Even an animal that hasn't got any real power of choice or intellect, whatever, intelligence, that it can, it also did not agree, it also could not participate in cursing the Jewish people, because the Jewish people are blessed. In other words, we have hope the United Nations will eventually come to bless the Jewish people. The Im Taskil, if you think about a little bit about the mystery of this whole business, you'll find out that the speaking of the donkey was like the speaking of the snake, the serpent that spoke to Eve, Chava. Lo midat atzmo. They weren't really speaking from their own intellect, ki ein behem nefesh medaberes, because snakes and animals, they can't really formulate words and make sentences. Tam zeh samach v'yiftachu Hashem et piaton. That's what it means that God opened up the mouth of the donkey. God revealed in the eyes of Bilam, and he saw this angel, because immediately Shedibra, the Mesa, it says that the animal spoke and it died. We'll see what this means. As the angel appeared and spoke with him. It doesn't say that the angel saw, that the donkey saw the angel 3 times. Because first of all, when it pushed against it went off the road into the field. And then after that, it pushed Bilam's foot against the wall. And then it laid down. These were just 3 signs, each one from the angel. And we don't have to say that there was a 3rd sign, namely that the donkey spoke. So if you look at this, what the angel did, and he said, why are you hitting the angel 3 times? Vahush, right? Sha'omer lo, what was it? Dibra Malach. Go back here, it says. First of all, the donkey said, why are you hitting me 3 times? And then the angel says, listen, he says, Bilam says to the donkey, look what you did to me. 3 times you pushed me. He's having a regular conversation. If I had a sword in my hand, I would have killed you. And the donkey said to Bilam, aren't I your donkey that I rode on you for so long? Did I ever do anything like this before? And he said, no, you never did. And here it says a very sort of not nice thing. It says that you rode on me, begamatria rivitani, that he had relations with this donkey. And now the angel is going to speak to Bilam. But Yagal Hashem, and God opened the eyes of Bilam, and he saw the angel, and was standing with his sword, his sword out. And the angel says to Bilam, why did you hit your donkey these 3 times? I came to prevent you because I don't want you to go in this way. Let's see back here excuse me 1 second. Excuse me. Yeah. All right, let's go back just to this here that was here. Huh? Wasn't it? No. Boom, 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 boom. One more back. Here we go. So that's what he says. That's what the angel said. The angel said, why did you hit your donkey 3 times? This was equal to what the donkey said. Why did you do this and hit me 3 times? Now, if you understand this, you'll understand that there were really these 3 people, these 3 angels that were standing there. They were actually people. They were people. Anashim nitzavim shahayu anashim mamish v'hayu malachim mamish. They were people and they were also angels. And that's what the angel understood that he meant when he said, I have gone out. Right? I've gone out. He could have said, here I came to prevent you. But he said, Yatsati, I have gone out. We'll go back to the sentence again. In other words, after the donkey spoke, so that's when I went out into the way, the daber, to speak to you and to really prevent you from going. So what's happening over here? What's happening? Bilam is getting all these signs from God not to go and do what he's doing. Even the donkey realizes he shouldn't do. How much more so human beings realize you shouldn't try to curse the Jews. But Bilam does not listen. But this whole thing softens him up. So he eventually becomes, because of this, he becomes a vessel for the prophecy of God. Now God is going to speak through him and make all these amazing blessings to the Jewish people about Mashiach, mainly about the whole idea of the Mashiach. And it sort of makes sense because the whole idea of the Mashiach is that the non-Jews will really oppose it, this idea. But eventually it's going to transform, right, little by little, that even the non-Jews, Bilam, who is an arch non-Jew, they will also agree to give the Jewish people blessings. We're going to see that this is not the end of Bilam. In the end of this week's Torah portion, he reverts back to his own natural self and his own licentious self, and he gives an advice that that almost brings about the end of the Jewish people. That's going to be the whole story of Pinchas, and we're going to talk about that more, God willing, tomorrow. But today we finished, at least in a very superficial way, the story with the Bilam's donkey, the miracle of Bilam's donkey, and how this prepared Bilam to give these big blessings to the Jewish people. Tomorrow we'll talk about the exact blessings that came as a result of the curses that he wanted to give. Have a good day with Mashiach now.